that these fiery snakes were actually guinea worms. Not guinea pigs, guinea worms. Let me tell you a little bit about guinea worms. Guinea worms are worm-like parasites that burrow under your skin. They are causing burning pain in your body as they're in there. They can live up to 1 year in your body. They can grow up to 3 feet. They're caused by drinking water that has been infiltrated, dirty water. And so the idea was, once you have this guinea worm living within you, it travels down your body, and the way it comes out is eventually it'll come to your lower extremities, and it'll pop out. Its head will pop out. Now, you cannot just remove the worm to go fishing. You cannot do that, okay? Because it could break off, and then it'll cause all kinds of pain, and you'll cause all kinds of mess, and you could have a fever and die. I'm not really a medical person, but this is my rendering of this, okay? So you don't want to take it straight out because of that occasion, but also you don't want to do this because if you take it out, it causes extreme pain and your entire body is on fire. So what they do to take these guinea worms out of your body, and this is true, this is happening in tropical regions in India and Africa as we speak. This is why Dr. Joe's wonderful wife filters their water. What they do is they take a stick and they get the little head and they roll it around the stick and they roll it out about 1 inch. And now by this time you're screaming in pain. It hurts so bad. You can't stand it any longer. The next day they roll it a few more inches. This goes on until it actually leaves the body. And because I know you all want to see a picture of a guinea worm, we have a YouTube clip that I would love for you to watch now.
For hundreds of cultures, still untouched by technology, daily life means living off the land as they have for ages. But sometimes, just getting a simple drink of water can lead to unimaginable agony. That's because accidentally ingesting this tiny parasite can eventually cause it to grow inside the human body up to 3 feet long. And believe it or not, the only way to remove it is to pull it out inch by excruciating inch. This African villager is waiting for treatment, an unfortunate victim of an almost extinct parasite, the guinea worm, commonly known as the fiery serpent. The worm gets its name from the painful burning sensation the victim experiences. Water is poured on the wound to cool it. Ironically, it's often from the same stagnant ponds and polluted rivers that caused the condition in the first place. The larvae actually live in the water. When an unsuspecting victim drinks, the larvae attach themselves to the intestines. There they live off nutrients and start growing. It's the beginning of a ticking time bomb that often takes a long time to explode.
The incredible thing is that they live in you for about a year, and your immune system doesn't recognize that there's this huge worm inside of you.
Meanwhile, although victims develop high fevers, most remain unaware they're carrying this ever-growing megaparasite, which eventually works its way through the body's connective tissue, down towards the body's lower extremities. Then, out of nowhere, the worm's head pops through the skin, never failing to shock villagers who believe they're cursed. The only way to remove the thread-like worms is to wait until they appear. Then the tip of the worm is carefully wrapped around a matchstick, and the painful process begins. But the removal is so torturous, it can only be done bit by bit. And unbelievably, there are documented cases of a single person having as many as 60 worms. Though the worms themselves may not kill, the infections they cause can. Luckily, this young villager is treated successfully, expected to fully recover. And while medical crusaders like those at the Carter Center continue to use education and special water filters in the fight to eradicate the fiery serpent, the threat of the guinea worm is still very much alive, and maybe only a drink of water away.
Do I have your attention? Are you fortunate to live in a wonderful country? Do we have anything to complain about? No. I've given you, it's really kind of like a snake from the Oriental Trading Company, but I hope you'll picture it as a guinea worm that glows in the dark and that you'll put by your nightstand, so when you wake up in the middle of the night or you get up in the morning and you're you're mad or you're angry or something, you can remember this occasion here. We really do not have anything to complain about. Okay? I know life is tough and we all have different situations, but honestly, I think we can step up just a little bit more. Now that one was kind of a little add-on just to get your attention. Now I really want to kind of focus on what happened after all these people have been complaining and Moses has died. This morning Hope was reading about how the transferring of the baton, the leadership baton was going to take place. And the people had been wandering. They had been wandering this area, wanting to go into this promised land. You know, 40 years seems like a lifetime for us. I'm about to be 40 in a couple of years. I'm not going to tell you how many. But I feel like I'm young, but I cannot imagine wandering in one location in a small area for 40 years because I'm afraid to really do and take God at His word. Now here's what's happening, because they're at a very interesting point. Andy told you about the parting of the Red Sea this afternoon. The Lord is bringing them back around to an occasion where it's almost a similar type of lesson, but He's asking something a little different from them. Turn to Joshua 1. We're going to look at Joshua 1 through 9. So they're camped outside, overlooking the promised land, which actually, you know, we think maybe it was flowing with milk and honey, but actually when you read about it, it was kind of like a land bridge between two huge countries and two big civilizations, Egypt and Mesopotamia. They weren't even really sure, why are we going to go there? You know, they kind of had just begun to explore it a little bit, but from the man's eye, it didn't seem like it was anything any great. So why were they going to all this trouble? These people were frustrated. These people were complaining right and left. Their big leader had just died, and they're sitting at the Jordan, and they're overlooking, and this is what's happening. After the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord said to Joshua, son of Nun, Moses' aide, Moses, my servant, is dead. Now then, you and all these people, get ready to cross the Jordan River. Here's another river. The other one was the Red Sea, but they're about to cross a river now. Into the land I'm about to give you. Every place where you set your foot, as I promised Moses. Your territory will extend from the desert and from Lebanon to the great river the Euphrates, all the Hittite country, and to the great sea on the west. No one will be able to stand up against you all the days of your life, as I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Be strong and courageous, because you will lead these people to inherit the land I swore to their forefathers to give them. Be strong and very courageous. He keeps telling them this over and over. Be careful to obey all the laws my servant Moses gave you. Do not turn from it to the right nor to the left, that you may be successful wherever you go. Do not let this book of the law depart from your mouth. Meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do everything written in it. Then you will be prosperous and successful. Have I not commanded you? Here's the third time he's telling them. Be strong and courageous. Do not be terrified. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go.